Good morning, one and all. Let's start with the second part of the walking aids, that is your types of crutch walking. So, when we're talking about types of crutch walking, I'm not talking about types of crutches. Types of crutches was already dealt in the previous video. If you have not gone and visited the previous video, I'll put up the link in the description box below. So, these are the types of crutch walking, wherein we can make a patient walk in three different phases, mainly categorized as non-weight bearing, partial weight bearing, and full weight bearing. These three have different sets beneath it. Let's just look into what are the full in detail weight bearing aspects used utilizing the crutch walking method. So first one is non-weight bearing. Here there is 3 point base of support, that is your crutch A, crutch B, and your good leg. Good leg here means an unaffected leg or non-affected leg. So patient should always stand with a triangular base of support, two crutches and good leg, and must apply no weight on the affected leg or the leg which is affected or the bad leg. So how to walk using non-weight bearing technique? First place the crutch and then followed by the good leg. The dotted line is the imaginary line which the patient should draw between the ends of the crutches. So why this dotted line is important? When you're progressing the stage from non-weight bearing to partial weight bearing, before achieving partial weight bearing, there's something called as swing to and swing through. Swing to is just touching the line or before the line your good leg should be placed, and swing through is when the good leg crosses the imaginary line and is placed ahead. Let's look at it how the video representation will look. Point A and B, that is your crutch along with the imaginary line, is passed ahead, followed by the good leg. This is swing to. So swing through, again the 3 point base of support, wherein point A and B, that is your both the crutches along with the imaginary line, is passed ahead, followed by the good leg which is crossing the line. This is swing through. Coming to shadow walking. Before jumping to partial weight bearing, you can do shadow walking. So what is shadow walking? Shadow walking is the uh, preparation for a patient to move his no, affected leg, sorry, to move his affected leg along with the unaffected leg, so that the normal pattern of gait is achieved. But in this pattern there is no weight bearing on the affected leg. Let's look at the video demonstration. So again, A and B, that is your two crutches at each side, the imaginary line, the good leg which has strong borders, whereas the dotted bordered one is your bad leg. So first pass the crutches ahead, followed by the both the leg, that is your good leg and bad leg, but good leg is fully bearing the weight and bad leg is not bearing the weight at all. It is just swinging with the sorry, it is just swinging with the good leg. This is known as shadow walking. Now coming to partial weight bearing. So when we talk about partial weight bearing, there are two methods. Let's look at each of them one by one. So first one follows a progression from shadow walking. Shadow walking was the last slide which showed that both the legs are taken front together once the crutches are placed, but affected leg is not at all weight bearing. It is just swinging with the unaffected leg. So, in partial weight bearing, we know partial weight bearing. We have to place the weight at least 50 percentage or little lesser than that on the affected leg. So, we have to make the part at least, some point at least weight bear on the affected leg. So, let's look at the video demonstration and see how the author Tina Gardner tells in his book. First, take the both crutches along with the bad leg, weight bear on the bad leg, and then follows the good leg ahead of the imaginary line of the crutch. I'll replay the video. Take both the crutches along with the imaginary line, along with the bad leg, that is, along with the affected leg. placing some amount of weight on the affected leg equally divided between affected leg and the two crutches. Hence it is known as partial weight bearing, followed by the good leg, which is placed ahead of the imaginary line. So the good leg is doing swing through, whereas the bad leg is doing swing to. So now, can someone think of it? I'll just give you a minute. Can someone think of it why initially the unaffected leg was taken along with the crutch? Why affected leg was taken along with the crutch, and why non-affected or unaffected leg was kept behind? Why can't we reverse this? Why good leg can be taken front and bad leg was can be put behind? I'll just give a minute so that you people can think about it. What is the reason why bad leg is taken along with the crutch, whereas good leg is still lying behind? The reason for this is when you put bad leg first, you divide the weight between the bad leg, crutch A, and crutch B. And this is 50 percentage of the entire body. And the other 50 percentage is borne by your good leg. So if you reverse this legs, that is, if you keep bad leg behind and good leg in with along with these two crutches, then good leg's weight is getting divided between the crutch, whereas bad leg is entirely taking up 50 percentage of the body weight, directly progressing from non-weight bearing or shadow weight bearing, shadow walking to partial weight bearing. You cannot place the bad leg behind because the person won't be confident enough to put 50 percentage of weight bear directly on the bad leg. Hence, first we need to do both the crutches along with the bad leg, and then followed by the good leg, which is doing swing through. Coming to second part of partial weight bearing. This method stimulates normal walking. The more weight is taken, and the more weight is taken through the affected leg compared to the phase 1, because entire 50 percentage of the body weight was divided between two crutches and the bad leg, and the other 50 percentage was taken by the good leg itself. So this method is not doing that. One more thing, have you all noticed there's some difference in this slide compared to the last whatever slides we discussed? The imaginary line between the crutches is absent. In the rest slides, what we discussed, the imaginary line between the crutch was present. Here, the imaginary line between the crutch is absent. Why? What is the importance of imaginary line? Why we have taken out the imaginary line in this type of partial weight bearing? Can anyone think about it? I'll give you all one more minute for that. Can you all think about it? The imaginary line is taken out because we are stimulating normal walking pattern. So when you're walking normally, your right hand swings along with the left foot or left extremity, whereas your left hand swings along with the right extremity. So this is the alternative fashion of the upper and lower extremities during walking. So this part of the partial weight bearing is stimulating for normal walking. That means the alteration between the upper extremity as well as lower extremity. Hence, if the imaginary line is present, that is not possible or cannot be achieved. Hence, the imaginary line is removed off. Let's look at the video demonstration, how it looks. Point A or crutch A is taken forward, followed by the contralateral affected extremity, followed by the other crutch, and then comes the good extremity. I'll repeat it again. Crutch A is taken forward, followed by contralateral affected extremity, followed by one more crutch, then comes the good extremity or the unaffected extremity. This is how the second part of partial weight bearing is carried out. Coming to the toe touchdown weight bearing. Here, only 10 to 20 percentage of the load is borne by the affected leg along with the crutch walk. This is usually taught telling the patient that you have to touch only the great toe. It is usually taught after the shadow walking, before the partial weight bearing. Usually, in that phase, if the patient is not confident enough in putting his entire leg, then teach toe touch down weight bearing, where only great toe is touched to the ground, which bears only about 10 to 20 percentage of the load. Coming to weight bearing is tolerated, only that much amount of weight is borne by the patient, how much ever he can tolerate, but the weight borne by the patient on the affected leg is never more than 50 percentage. This phase is taught if the patient is has done partial weight bearing phase 1 but is scared to put the unaffected leg differently, like we saw it in the phase 2 of partial weight bearing, which is stimulating the normal gait pattern, where there is no 3 point base of support for the unaffected leg. If the patient is getting confused to go into that phase, or is not confident enough to go into that phase, then you have to tell the patient to gain his confidence, weight bear as much as tolerated, but make sure the weight is not 50 percentage or not more than 50 percentage. Hence, the name of this phase is weight bearing as tolerated. Coming to step up and step down. When you're going up, I'll tell you a mnemonic to remember how to use crutch when you have affected and unaffected extremity. When you're using crutch, when you're training a patient, remember this mnemonic. Good goes to heaven, bad goes to hell. So good luck will go to heaven, that is on top when you're climbing stairs up. Bad luck goes to hell, that is down when you're climbing stairs down. First is bad luck. So let's look at the picture and the video demonstration how it is seen. So taking for an example, taking this to be a staircase, this is our patient who has bad leg and good leg. So you can either give crutches bilaterally, but I have not drawn the crutch because the railing is present. So, when you want a patient to do a step up, that is your staircase climbing up, look how she does. She is not utilizing her affected leg to climb up, she is utilizing her unaffected leg to climb up. This is your step down, step up. Step down is exactly reverse of this, wherein bad leg comes first in the picture and good leg gets followed by it. So these are coming to basic gait patterns. So when we are talking about basic gait patterns, we have five things. That is your 4 point gait, 2 point gait, modified 4 point and 2 point gait, 3 point gait, and modified 3 point gait. So first one, coming to 4 point gait. Crutch A first, followed by a bad leg, followed by ipsilateral crutch, and then followed by good leg. So this is the basic 4 point, which is stimulate partial weight bearing, which is stimulate the normal gait pattern, normal gait pattern of the individual. This is also called as 4 point. When we are talking about point gait system, utilizing the crutch, each point when which is weight bearing is taken up as a point. So look at the video. First, only point A is weight bearing, that is crutch A is weight bearing. Then comes the affected leg. Then comes point B, that is crutch B. Then comes the good leg. So at each point, everything is weight bearing. So hence the term 4 point gait. Coming to 2 point gait. Crutch A along with the bad leg, crutch B along with the good leg. So in this point gait, only two times the weight is borne. So point A along with the bad leg, point A along with the bad leg, and point B along with the good leg. So only 2 point gait. Coming to modified 2 point gait. Here one crutch is removed. This modified 2 point gait is taken as a progression of 2 point gait system, wherein you had two crutches. So one additional base of support was present. Here there is deduction of one base of support. So let's look into the video presentation. Point A and the bad leg followed by the good leg. So this is only 2 point, but it is modified from the 2 point gait system, where one crutch is removed, one base of support is cut. Hence the base of support is narrower compared to 2 point gait system. Coming to 3 point gait. Both the crutches are taken forward, followed by bad leg, and then followed by good leg. So this is nothing but your 3-point gate system. Coming to modified 3-point gate, this is the last one. Both the crutches along with the imaginary line is taken further. Coming to the bad leg, which is weight bearing partially, and then full weight bearing by the good leg. So this is your modified 3-point gate system. Thank you, one and all. Stay safe, stay at home. We'll meet you all in the next class with the other assistive walking aids or the assistive devices. Thank you.